Sasha the Dark Princess in the Lair of Blood. It was a dark night. The wind was shrieking through the narrow paths in the woods. It was bitter and cold, piercing through the long, dark cape of Sasha Morty. Sasha pulled the hood over her head as she continued to walk through the woods alone. She began to shiver as the harsh winds continued to brush against her body. Sasha looked ahead. The road looked like it went on forever. The trees looked like towers reaching towards the sky. As Sasha looked around, she had a feeling. She was in danger. There seemed to be a shadow lurking in the distance. After a few moments, she began to have the sensation that something or someone was watching her, which made her even more nervous. Yet she continued to walk, yet even faster at this point, hoping to soon reach the end of the woods just outside where the castle was at. But then she started hearing strange noises, unlike any she had ever heard before. These strange noises began to make her worry even more as she started to wonder if she would ever reach the castle safely. Sasha began to think of the stories that she had been told as a child of a night beast that would take off with those who wandered the woods alone at night. These were warnings of danger in the area that the local townsfolk would tell others so that they wouldn't travel the woods alone at night. Yet Sasha didn't listen to the warnings and was traveling the road alone, and at night. But Sasha had no choice. Somewhere up ahead was the only man that could help her save her father. She had sacrificed all she had to get here, and wasn't going to turn back now. She sold everything she had of value to find this man. Nothing mattered but that she find Ashkin, for she knew he was the only one who could help her now. She had nowhere else to go. She had to find him, be granted audience with him, no matter how elusive, no matter how dangerous, no matter how powerful he was. Many of the townspeople refused to help her and warned her to stay away. Her love for her father was stronger than the fear of the night beast. Villages and townships worshipped him, for he was the only one they feared above all others. His reputation was legend and lethal. Some even said he was untouchable and bared the mark of the night beast himself. Sasha had persisted despite all warnings, all accidents, the weather, and every obstacle she has had to face. She wouldn't and couldn't turn back now, no matter how the voices in the wind howled at her, no matter how icy the storm. She just had to see him. Sasha stopped just for a few moments to glare up at the night sky. "I will find you. I will see you," she declared firmly, a challenge of her own. "I am a Morty. We never turn back." Just then a noise captured her attention, and frowning, she swung her head around to look, and off in the far distance she seen the shadows of a small wolf pack. She knew if they was to pick up on her smell, then she would never be able to survive. So Sasha began to run as fast as she could to make it through the pass. It was desperation more than fear that kept her from turning back. Soon the winds lashed at her face, and the tears were torn out of the corners of her eyes. She could feel the winter was fast approaching, and with it would come heavier snowfall, which would make her return trip worse than she could ever handle. Shivering, teeth chattering, she urged herself along the harsh trail. Once she was out of the path, she felt an odd, disorienting sensation, as if the earth began to shimmer and twist. She had an eerie feeling, as if something better left alone had been awakened upon her entrance into the valley. With renewed fury, the wind slashed and tore at her, ice crystals burning her face. It felt like every part of her skin was exposed. She continued another hour while the winds came at her from all directions. It blew fiercely, vigorously, seamlessly, directing itself towards her. Overhead storm clouds gathered. Rather than move swift away with the winds,